Hi, I'm Shane.
I'm Kelsey.
And that's Dixie. And we're Love Hut for Life. We've now been on the road for, wait for it, 88 weeks in our self-built slide-in camper.
That's right, guys, and we are still having an absolute blast. This week, we went through 5 states, from Texas to Tennessee, showing you how we boondock across the South. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, be sure and hit that thumbs up, like button, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our adventures. When we left you last week, we were hanging out on Lake O' the Pines in East Texas with a pretty good portion of my family. Now, we had a small crowd this year, so there were only 76 of us, but we still had an absolutely great time being completely surrounded by loved ones. On a normal year, there's a couple hundred of us all hanging out together in this one particular campsite. This has been going on for far longer than I've been alive and longer than most of the people here have been alive.
She's not kidding. There's literally hundreds of them. It's taken me years to come close to getting all these names straight. I think I'm doing a pretty good job by this point, though.
About 8 years ago, we taught Shane how to swim on this lake. This year, he surprised all of us by at least trying to learn to kneeboard. When we woke up the next morning, it was time to get out of our one paid campsite of the week. That wasn't going to stop us from hitting the water and spending one more day with my family, though. Shane.
Yeah.
You gonna master this thing today?
Probably not.
Being real.
Real talk.
My vibes are off today, so hopefully Shane's are gonna be fun.
Shane, baby, you gotta get up. Oh, he is off. Eventually, we all had to accept that it was time to come off of that water and start making our rounds, saying our temporary goodbyes to all of our loved ones.
We were racing the sun, trying to get back to Marshall to see Kelsey's grumpy little grandma one last time before we hit the road.
I'll eat breakfast with my grandmother in just a minute, but I've left this rock tumbler plugged in the entire time that we've been in Texas, and I'm super excited to see what's inside it. Pretty. Oh, awesome. Well, y'all, we are never happy to be saying goodbye to all of my family, but we've got a lot of miles to cover over the next 3 days.
That's right, we've got about 800 miles to be exact. We are headed to Tennessee, more specifically around the Knoxville area, to build out a passenger van for a new friend of ours. I'm really excited about this one. I haven't got to do one particularly like this. I believe it's a 15 passenger. Y'all hang on to find out the truth about that or not. We do travel and stay at public lands, and as you start heading into Tennessee and further east, they get further and further apart. So we have to be very strategic about where we go. We obviously can't do 800 miles in one day, so we're headed back to Beaudark Lake to camp for the night.
Arkansas, here we come. Shane stopped at the state line to pick me some wildflowers that rode on our dashboard all the way back to one of our favorite places, Beaudark Lake. We visit this lake usually on our way into Texas, but this year got to come in twice. Unlike the time that we were here just a couple of weeks ago, all of the lily pads were blooming, and we were both super excited for the chance to see it. Whoa. Y'all, I don't think we'll be swimming in this lake. Look at that gator.
Arkansas. Didn't see that coming.
I don't know why he didn't see that coming. We're in Arkansas.
They got everything here, man. It's a magical land.
We unfortunately didn't have long to stay this time. We had a whole lot of miles to cover, and it was time to hit that road. Y'all, we made it to the Francis National Forest and thought we had a parking spot planned down by the Mississippi River, but it appears our plans may be changing a bit. I don't think the Love Hut can make it through these ruts. We're still gonna go check out the river though.
Well, this area is not going to work. We are at the confluence of the St. Francis and the Mississippi. It's a day use area, so that's obviously not going to work for us. And the roads are getting kind of tight. So we're going to go deeper into the St. Francis National Forest and try to find a spot to squeeze this big yellow house into. Backwards.
It's kind of hard to turn this thing around sometimes. Well, y'all, it took us all day and a little over 300 miles before finding our parking spot for the night. Luckily, we've been doing this for a while and we knew that just over the Mississippi River was Sardis Lake. We lucked out and got this little campground all to ourselves tonight. After hanging out by the water for just a little bit, it was time to hit the road again. We still had a whole lot of miles and another river to cross before we could park for the night. Y'all, we absolutely love the state of Tennessee and are so happy to be back here amongst these giant trees and all of this gorgeous greenery. Now, unfortunately, most of Tennessee is locked down as far as free camping goes. There's not a whole lot of public land to be had here, but occasionally you find a nice little free campground like this one.
I really enjoy these. They're very pretty. And Tennessee has several of them. This particular one is off the Natchez Trace Parkway, which is a really pretty road to drive down. This one is called Meriwether Lewis Campground, and we're one of just a few people here, but there is easily 30 sites for you to get into. It would be hard to pull a big trailer in here. Come in your vans. So it's 7 p.m. I do believe there's some thunderstorms coming. It looks like it's almost dark outside.
It just got really, really dark.
Hold on to your britches.
I think it's time to go inside. We've got about another 4-hour drive before we get to our next free campground in Tennessee. But before we head there, we want to check out our current surroundings. We stayed in the Meriwether Lewis campground last night, and there's a historical site connected. So we're going to check that out before we officially hit the road. According to the signs, after the Lewis and Clark expeditions, Meriwether Lewis came here to spend his last days. I don't know about you, but I think he would have enjoyed our little yellow house and all of our adventures. Here we are, guys, our next free campground. This one is on Ray Springs Lake. We're definitely not alone here, but it's an absolutely beautiful place. And we are both really excited to jump in that water. There are stories of these waters being haunted due to the flooded historic town that lays beneath the lake. The only thing we noticed, though, were a lot of really aggressive fish.
Why are you getting out of the water?
Because I Oh, the fishies are attacking me. We ended an awesome week with a little campfire in front of a beautiful sunset. Life doesn't get much better than this. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as we enjoyed making it for you. We're having a whole lot of fun here in Tennessee and plan to do a little bit more exploring here. We've got a van build coming up that we are super excited to start working on.
I would like to thank each and every one of you for following us along this far on this journey. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a comment. Fun fact, if you don't leave a comment, there's literally no other way for us to know you're watching these videos. So drop us a line if you haven't recently and let us know that you're on the ride with us.
That's right, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you. We come to you every Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday with new videos, or as soon as we can get the service to upload them. Peace out, guys. We will see you soon. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all.